Hello, PinalCentral readers again. It's Suzanne Adams-Acrassa with Backstory for PinalCentral. Today we thought we would share some of the memories that the newsroom reporters have of 9/11 since it's the 20th anniversary. And so I'll go first. My memory of that day is waking up and turning on the Today Show on the TV and seeing the first tower burning. And as I was completing some homework before going into class, I was going to a local university at the time. I remember looking up and seeing the second plane flying towards the towers. And the thought that crossed my mind at the time was that plane is awful close to those towers. And just as that thought finished, the second plane struck the second tower.
I remember that day so clearly. At the time of those attacks, I was living and working in Silver City, New Mexico. I worked at a call center, and I learned about the attacks as I was driving to work. I heard the news on the radio, and my initial reaction was confusion. For some reason at the time, thought that it had maybe been an accident, and I didn't really understand how impactful the event would be until I got to work, and some of the older women that I worked with were crying, and one of them came up to me and said, "Gosh, I haven't been this upset since JFK was shot."
I remember September 11th, 2001 pretty well. I was in 7th grade, and during one of the early periods, they interrupted class to let us know that something had happened. They were pretty vague. They said planes had hit the World Trade Center towers, but then the day sort of proceeded as normal. None of the teachers, for the rest of the school period showed us any of the television coverage. So the students just there was just sort of a lot of gossip and rumors about what had happened. I didn't find out that the Trade Center towers had actually collapsed until I went home.
I drove into class, and when I got into campus, all the classes for the day had been canceled. And as I was walking back to my car to go home, I remember thinking that the campus itself was completely silent. There were people everywhere, but no one was talking. As I got closer to my car, I remembered that my older brother, his workplace sometimes sent him to New York City for various jobs and things like that. And I didn't know if he was there. And so I called him, and luckily he turned out to be actually at his home office in Cleveland at the time. But I just remember a sense of great dread and fear that day, and not knowing what was going on.
I was in 6th grade when the attacks happened. Obviously didn't know much about the world at all. Woke up, saw on the news there was a big fire in the World Trade Center. Figured it was just that, a fire. But then I came to school, and I remember two of my teachers who had this little comedic bit going that they were like really enemies, but they were really, good friends. And they were just crying together. And I remember that it seemed like the world had changed when I saw that happen. And just going throughout the rest of the school day, and teachers had no idea what to do about it, whether to watch the news, not watch the news, because you never knew what was going to be on it. But we all saw it, and we can obviously never forget it.
And this is Suzanne Adams-Acrassa again, and that has been today's backstory and the memories of some of the reporters in the newsroom at PinalCentral.